What is going on, my fellow Schwokelords? It is your boy Schweezy, aka the Foreplay King, back at it with another hot podcast. And today on the show, there is no exception. I have one of my best friends, one of my highest ranking Schwokelords, and one of the greatest people to ever walk the face of this earth, Micah Chrisman, aka MJ Chrisman, aka Big Guy. Big Guy is on the show today to talk about, how everything's going with coronavirus, and we get into it. We talk about Carole Baskin, we talk about Tiger King, we talk about our weight loss competition, and many more things also involved with that. So you're definitely going to want to check out this episode of the SchwegCast, and definitely don't touch the dial or anything. I'm happy we're still going strong with our video, and the video is going cool. So if you are watching this video on YouTube right now, you need to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you are notified when we do upload new episodes of the SchwegCast, because when they come out, you got to watch them. You got to stay schwoke. You got to get everything and be the man that you are supposed to be. And you also need to subscribe if you are just listening to audio only. Still cool, but it's not going to be as fun as now that we're on video. To go like and subscribe wherever you are. Smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. And stay schwoke. That's all you need to do. Stay schwoke and be the Schwokelord that you need to be. And that's it. So, some of you may know, me and Micah were in a bit of a weight loss competition, and one thing that happened was Micah lost 5 pounds and then gained 5 pounds. I, on the other hand, lost 30 pounds. I'm now at 32 pounds lost, and a big thing with that is I am now starting to have to buy new clothes. I probably look fat in this video, but I was definitely a lot more fat. This area didn't exist. But now I'm a shirt size smaller, and so I'm starting to have to go ahead and start buying new clothes. And one way that I can buy new clothes right now, especially now that we're in quarantine and I can't really necessarily go out and go try on clothes and go out and buy them, is I buy shirts online and clothes online. And the best way I've learned to do that is with one of today's sponsors, and today's sponsor is Honey. Honey is a free browser extension that finds promo codes, coupon codes, free shipping, and anything else when purchasing anything online. And it's great. It's going to save you money, and it's going to save you the hassle of having to Google coupon codes or promo codes or anything like that in regards to, trying to save money when buying things online, especially right now in my case where I am buying tons and tons of clothes because I am now a shirt size smaller. I'm getting thinner. I'm getting more handsome and sexier, and Honey is helping me be the most handsome man I can possibly be. And Honey is a sponsor of this episode. So go check out the link down in the description, and you can get that browser extension applied to your computer, applied to your web browser, and support the show for free and start saving money on all your online purchases with all those promo codes and coupon codes, and become the person you were meant to be and be schwoke. This show is also sponsored by DistroKid. DistroKid gets your music out to multiple online retailers and saves you the hassle. This is great for artists who write original music, and also if you want to upload a cover as well. They'll even get you that cover license you need for that cover and save you the hassle of even having to go through that and to be able to release a song that you did not write on the internet. It's really cool and really great. I personally use DistroKid for my music. I recently released an EP, King, and on that track 3, If You Don't is a cover by Jimmy Eat World that I really wanted to put on this EP. DistroKid saved me the hassle. All I had to do, upload the song, put all the information in on who the writers is and the original band that performed the song. They got that cover license I needed. That way I could put that song out there on my Spotify, on my Apple Music, on my Deezer, on my title page, and didn't have to worry about anything at all with that. Another thing that makes DistroKid a great product to use is that you just pay a one-time yearly subscription. Lowest plan right now is around $20. I have the $35 plan, and I am sticking with that $35 plan on my own as an independent artist to be able to release my music out there to the multiple online retailers to save me all that hassle using DistroKid. I remember back in the day using other products, which I won't name, where you had to pay like $20 to upload a single, $50 to upload an album, and you didn't even know if it was even worth it to even put it out there. It made you more hesitant to want to release singles, put out music, because you had to really make it count, because you have to keep paying yearly for each individual release. With DistroKid, you just pay a one-time fee with unlimited uploads. So go check out distrokid.com/VIP/SchwegCast. You can get 7% off your first year, and link in the description as well. Save money while putting music online and get your music out there so people can listen to it. So I'm going to go with my interview with the fabulous and wonderful MJ Chrisman, a.k.a. Big Guy. But as my boy Garth would say, if this is truly a conversation,
then I say let the conversation begin.
Somehow make it not fun.
Well, Micah, that's what I'm thinking here. You know, I think gay people deserve equal rights too.
See? Just like that.
Just like that. And we're live. Hey, Micah, how's it going?
Hey, doing well, Sam. How's it going?
Good on my end. We're just social distancing, and I actually think
I've been social distancing from you since college since we got out of college.
Yeah, I know.
Always hoped that you moved to Tennessee, and I just thought, maybe we'll have some more social distance, and then you just kept shooting memes at me every day.
Yeah, it's called friendship, Micah, and that's how friendship.
And now the rest of the world's catching up with how we do our friendship. Now everyone else is like, oh, okay, I guess it's time we send memes to each other and text and speak in mask, form from across the country.
Yeah. And wear masks all the time, how normal people do it.
Yep. Black. And it's like driving while black, then wearing a mask while black, you'll probably get pulled over or get accused of robbing a store, gas station.
Yeah.
Stay woke, am I right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It really,
yeah, I've heard a lot of things just in general about how it's difficult for African Americans right now, because I think there's a less likely to get help in regards to this, in the virus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's happening everywhere, but even here in Kansas City, they just, as you know, I used to work for the Kansas City Health Department.
Yeah,
so
aren't you glad you don't work there right now?
Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'd be just neck deep every day, just sifting through notifications and writing it just would be a lot. I'd be living and breathing coronavirus right now, and probably the virus eventually, because somebody would probably come into the health department with it. And no, but they just released a report showing that, the 3rd district, which is the one I live in right now, working at Cherith Brook, the ministry here. They say that, which is primarily people of color, African Americans specifically, and they say there's 60-something% of all cases here in Kansas City area, and that's kind of how it's looking. I mean, it's in Chicago, New York, LA, it's all those places. Basically, if you're poor and disenfranchised, and if you're a person of color, that's just systems of oppression and racism, that. This whole thing just kind of pulled back the Band-Aid and just lets the world see how deep the wound really is. You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
That's basically all this coronavirus does. These injustices already been happening, and people in these areas have been already having chronic health conditions and no health insurance and no access to health. And it's just, we know how these kind of pandemics play out for those communities of color. But, but I'm also just realizing half of my friends are now unemployed. I mean, these are folks that don't even live in this district, but hey, work at a coffee shop or, some kind of service industry job, and they're just out of a job. That's literally most of my friends. And so I'm fortunate to be able to work from home still, and I've been doing that pretty much since, because I do public relations communications, but not everyone has that luxury. But I'm still considered low income and poor, and so I just got health insurance just because I'm a hypochondriac. I haven't had health insurance for over a year doing this independent contractor work, so I'm okay, it's time to get some health insurance. Being a smoker, I don't want to have the coronavirus put me up in the hospital for a week on a respirator. and I'm just wheezing, Sam.
Oh, yeah, and I think it should be noted here, somewhat off topic, but somewhat on topic, that in my will, if I'm on like life support, Micah has to be the one to pull the plug. Not because I think he's the one to make that important decision, just because I know he wouldn't like doing it, and so he would just make him uncomfortable doing it.
I don't know which I'm looking forward to the most, the day you're on life support or the day I get to unplug you from life support.
See, because I know it's a conflict. It's going to be like a big conflict within you because on one hand, you don't want to be murdering. You don't want to be considered a murderer. And I guess it's still considered killing someone, but in a justifiable way, like one you won't go to jail for, one that's actually wanted, you know? Because I obviously don't want to live on life support. I'm like, I don't know how much I want to live like right now. Like if I'm going to be on life support, like what kind of life am I going to live? And then the other half of you is like, I get to kill Sam. So there's the two conflicting, there's two wolves within all of us.
You can't have a little, or you can't have light without a little dark, Sam.
Yeah, it's like, you can't have light without a little darkness.
Trademark. Sam Schwegler.
If those of you don't get that reference, I've come up with a lot of sayings, just kind of like a list of ways to just justify my bullshit.
Like aphorisms. They're called aphorisms.
That's what they're called?
Like, yeah, aphorisms. Like, you know, little nuggets of wisdom, like short little.
You hear that word with no context of what the definition is. Aphorism. I'm like, what, Micah?
Excuse you? Is that like an orgasm, but for afros? I don't understand.
See, if you have like curlier type hair, you have to go to
You are in luck. You will be turned on. You will have an aphorism if you make love to somebody with curly hair. That's what the
aphorism.
That's the new definition.
I still think
the Schwegler edition.
It's Schweinese, I think. No, Schweganese. That's how you say it.
No, that just sounds racist.
Schweganese?
Sounds racist. Yeah.
It's a language. Like when you ask for chippies at a restaurant, you're asking for chips.
I've never heard anyone ask for chippies.
Well, I mean, we haven't.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of flack being thrown towards the Chinese these days, and so you start throwing out lingo like Schweganese online, and people are going to either attack you.
Either that literally has nothing to do with Chinese people or coronavirus.
Right.
I really think when they say
go ahead.
There's a missed opportunity with Chinese virus because they should have called it Kung Flu.
That's old. Everyone else is. That's what I'm saying. That's the kind. It's about, be clever and whatnot. They're just being pretty much racist.
Well, I'm not racist. I have a black friend, so don't worry.
That's all it takes, apparently.
So, yeah, that's what all it takes is. It's just like someone's like, you're racist, and I'm going to be like, I have a black friend.
It's not even flashing the white privilege card. You just literally take another person and put them in front.
Don't worry, they're my friend. So, but both of us, we made a pact for 2020. We're doing no N-word 2020, and both of us are still going strong with that. This is really good. I'm really proud of you, Micah.
Yeah. Yeah. For white people, it definitely comes second nature. It's like built and ingrained into us oppressors. And so it's a good thing that I've been able to fend off
saying the N-word when you never have situations to say it except for like listening to rap, singing along to rap music, which then you can just say neighbor and then.
Oh,
that's actually it's a lot more wholesome then,
Actually, I say watermelon for any song I don't know. I just watermelon. That's all you have to do for anything you don't know the lyrics or can't. Gotta bleep out lyrics.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of lyrics, you've been watching Tiger King, right?
I mean, I don't know what was the. transition there. Speaking of lyrics, have you been watching Tiger King? I'm like, what?
I've just
part of that.
It's called journalism.
Oh, yeah. I guess I've seen some of his songs. So I've only watched 2 episodes. So
which one's is second episode is the one with Carole Baskin, right?
Carole Baskin in both the first and the second, but yeah, in the second one she's doing more of the talking, or they're interviewing her more.
That's because that was when she murdered her husband.
Yeah, they were talking this backstory about how she, they bounce between her defending herself, and then they jump to Joe Exotic, and he'd be like, oh, this was shady, and blah blah blah, and everyone talking about basically why they think she did kill her husband.
Mm-hmm. And so the reason I have you on here today is because I've been obsessed with Tiger King, and so
as
with
you
that,
would,
yeah,
as you should be, and
white trash.
Specifically, you would be,
because I'm obsessed with white trash people doing anything is just it's my cup of tea. With
hey,
that,
you can't say that. You can't say that word, white trash. That's offensive. It's not your word.
I don't care if I offend that demographic. So they can write me some poorly written letters on the internet, and I'll try to decipher what they're saying. But
some real latent prejudice against the
white trash community here. Onto the show today, we have Schweezy coming on here. Schweezy, what do you have to say about it? I'm like, what? What are they going to do? Write me letters? I'm like, they don't know how to read.
Everybody down in the Ozarks or who's watched Ozark is pretty pissed with you right now.
Yeah.
It's a stereotype.
I couldn't get into Ozark. But anyways, I want to talk to you. Reason I have you on the show today is because one time I remember specifically, we listened to this guy. It was like a charity thing we were getting involved with. I remember at Campus House, the one we would like volunteer at. I never volunteered at, but you did.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went out to Old Barney's afterwards. That's our bar, our watering hole. And you were going in through it because you taught speech and debate as your grad studies. And you're telling me, like, here's everything I interpreted out of that public speaking and everything like that. Since you've watched that Carole Baskin episodes, what's kind of the body language, the public speaking you get out of Carole from what we can see from that episode of Tiger King? That's what I want to know.
Well, honestly, when you think about communications and nonverbal communication, which is what we're talking about when people use their gestures, their eye motion, their whole posture and everything, and how they are trying to display an argument or articulate a case, can be some telltale signs. But honestly, here's the kicker, is that when we're talking about a documentary series, that's a whole other form of medium, experiencing her rhetoric. So to answer you, like, based on a person who has sat with Carole Baskin and watched all of her mannerisms and heard her rhetoric, the only person who could have access to that kind of like informed decision if she's guilty or not based on that would be the documentarians themselves, because they're the ones who are watching her, spending hours interviewing her, spending hours editing her clips together, editing her comments. And even how they portrayed it, they try to show it kind of a neutral way, show some clips of her kind of emotional, kind of connecting with the fact of the loss of her husband. And then they showed old clips. But then there'd be other times where, you could just see her kind of get a little bit defensive. And so all these things can kind of be normal things. Bottom line is, all I'm saying is I couldn't make, and I'm not a professional at reading body language. I just studied rhetoric and pause and release kind of tactics and just the things that speakers do to kind of emphasize their, creating empathy, etc., for persuasion. But from that standpoint, somebody else, how they even, just the very focus of it, you could say, oh, this documentary is really neutral. These people are just showing it as it is. But me choosing to point the camera over here, but excluding to show you information that's going on.
The highly edited stuff.
Not even highly edited. It just could be that I'm recording this direction, I'm showing you this perspective. But over here might be a whole other dynamic to the story. just by me, by the simple switch of where I choose to frame the shot. If I show Carole like crying close up versus a little bit of a distance, you know what I mean? Like those are small subtleties that honestly like can shape the bias of even the viewer and the director. Does that make sense?
True, yeah. So you covered your ass in regards to being a professional. Just from what you saw.
Just from what I saw, you want to know if I think she's guilty?
I want your opinion just from what you
guilty.
saw.
Oh, yeah. I just, because why not?
No.
I've only watched 2 episodes, to be fair, too. So maybe if you're looking.
Well, that's the only episode they really go into her murdering Don Lewis. And so just from me looking at the facts, I try to be neutral in it. Like, okay, let's hear her. Let's get the benefit of the doubt that she's innocent. Let's just look at everything. The idea, what I'm thinking of is she doesn't seem super sad about it. Even in the one interview, she's crying. Like,
yeah, maybe it's because I just got done watching the season, the new episodes of Ozark, and I just have that idea of somebody who's trying to get wealth and fame and power. Definitely, I can say just from watching those 2 episodes, I can tell you she's not doing anything different than those guys are doing.
Oh yeah,
and I can tell you. And then number 2, she would do anything to protect everything she's built. But that's the whole like I've told you, every one of us is both is all 3, the hero, the villain, and the victim at different points in our lives.
I've never been the villain, so
yeah. Says you. Now we'll ask some victims of yours. We'll see what their take on it was. But that's the whole point, right? Is that we decide, this. I'm the hero in this situation, and Carole Baskin very much is like the hero in her situation, and that's part of what she's wielded. I mean, again, but that's how they framed it too, right? So they would show her online followers and her doing Instagram clips. Then they would jump back to Joe Exotic being like, she's just publishing all this stuff online. Just
Baskins.
And then Carole Baskin just gets on here and says a whole lot of horror shit. And it's like, and they're trying to be fair, right? As documentary, they're just, showing, toggling between the people and the points of view and the clips. But at the end of the day, when you're watching and you're thinking about it, both parties are probably, just as evil and are definitely using exotic animals, namely tigers, to exploit the thing. So do I think she has the capability, and do I just personally think she probably did it? Yeah, probably. Why not? I guess I was kind of confused. What was he wasn't about to lose or anything. It would just be because he was starting in the paperwork, right? And then what they said, he was starting to.
Yeah, he was getting ready to divorce her. That's, I think, the real kicker in it. 2 months before his disappearance, he wrote a letter, gave it to his daughter, and said, hey, if anything happens to me, this. He tried to get a restraining order from Carole because she was getting a little violent and stuff like that. And then how you ever do a restraining order said it wasn't valid and denied it. And then all of a sudden he disappears.
Right.
So, but anyways, I want to say,
speaking of disappearing. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say your hair's swooping back so high that it's getting cut off out of my phone.
Oh.
No.
I think on my recording end it should be good. So don't worry, I know how I look. But anyways, what I feel like it kind of reminds me of me and you is Joe had a little cable network show, and he probably had 38 viewers at most, just dedicated to being fuck Carole Baskin. That was his whole show. I'm we do that to each other. We do shows for 38 people. On that's a high, a 38 people just tell it's fuck Micah.
Wow.
You do it the same to me.
I've never said fuck Sam. That's really rude. That's the first time I've ever
Not
heard
to my
you say
face. Actually, no, I do have that recording from our episode 50. You're fuck Sam Schwegler.
Oh, I probably did. I won't deny it.
I won't deny anything I've done in the past.
if you can produce the footage and documentation that I said.
I have the audio, but...
Well, all that to say, yeah. Cool story, bro.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, you have a long journey to go ahead, and I'm really proud and excited for how you're going to metamorphosis throughout this journey and see how you blossom.
Hashtag pray for Micah.
Hashtag pray for Micah. Speaking of which, man, how's your weight loss going?
Well, remember how at the beginning of the weight loss challenge, I had lost I think a total of 5 pounds before I gained it all back?
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I basically have lost that 5 pounds. Because COVID-19 happened in there. And so I was planning to go downward, and I put the 5 pounds back on, and now they're back off. So Rayla and I have been doing a lot of walks to the park. That's my dog, in case people don't know. Not just walking a person or something. But
I'm walking a toddler.
I'm walking Rayla, my toddler, my child.
Oh, you're walking one of the a homeless person just around. Just
we don't make fun of the homeless on these shows or people, anything.
I make fun of everyone on my show.
Yeah, that's what you do. It's okay.
Anyways, do you remember, since we talked to your brother in prison, do you remember the conversation I had that me and you were going to go visit him? And then we're sitting there talking with him at the table. Like, Caleb, this place is kind of a dump.
He'd probably just be like, yeah, it really is. He always would talk about. Actually, some sad information he told me. They're on lockdown. No one can go in and out, except for guards and people like that, but personnel. So no visitations and stuff. But Caleb said they just delivered an order of masks and body bags. And he tells, like a genius, he mentions that to my mom. She bursts into tears. Like you do if you're a mom and your baby boy's in prison. And he was just like, sorry, I should have done that. I should have waited, told Micah to vent, something like that. But it's just, the harsh reality. That's what they said. They're like, look, the reality is people die and we have to be prepared.
That did escalate pretty quickly. He said, yeah, they ordered face masks. I'm like, okay, because, not spread germs. That makes sense. And body bags. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. That's all it was. That's all. You get a shipment today and it's face masks and body bags. But that's got to be a lot of hospitals. It's just probably what everyone's doing.
Yeah. I was talking to my parents last night. They learned how to FaceTime. And, they're like, do you have a face mask? I'm like, no. And I was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'd rather get coronavirus than wear a mask in public. It's just like, I'm not doing that. You ever just hear someone's name? Like they have such a stupid name and they tell you that. And in your mind, you're like, I'm not calling you that.
No, there's definitely been people though, where I'm like, really? Your name's just Brittany? That's
a normal name.
I know. It's more like, you should have had a beautiful, gorgeous name I don't know, Charlotte or Victoria. I don't know. Maybe that's
or Debbie.
Or Debbie, yeah. I don't know. There's just definitely been people where I'm like, what a lame name. You're so much cooler than that lame name. Like some person just named David.
Yeah, it's not their fault. They don't, at some point they gotta choose their own name.
Right. Like
Schweezy and Big Guy.
I didn't choose FJ or Big Guy. I chose FJ Chrisman. You
that's like your Schwoke name. Like how Jesus would give his disciples new names.
I thought my Schwoke name was the Grand Wizard or whatever.
No, that's your job. You're the Grand Wizard of Cherith Brook. And then there's your alternate reality version, Chungus Guy, who's just morbidly obese. and then gets mad because he has all these medical bills that are all caused from him being fat. He's like, why do I have all these medical bills? This is ridiculous. That's what I've learned. Any
medical bills.
This is what I've been learning about, like, just losing weight. You think about, like, if you're having health issues and your weight is basically a big contributor to that, like, don't go to the doctor. Just lose some weight. I mean, if you're going to go to the doctor, ask him for assistance on, like, losing weight. Like, why would you? That's why, like, sleep apnea. It's like a big cause of it is if you're overweight.
Right. Yeah. How's your sleep apnea been going?
It's been a lot better. I do sleep a lot better. I'm not sure if it is. I'm waiting until I get to like an ideal weight or something like that. And then we do like a farmhouse retreat or something like that. And then waiting to someone tell me, I'm like, damn, Sam, you snore like a bitch. And then you would say that.
I did not say that.
I think you said that, and Brad Banowitz was like, but Brad's a very nice guy. So he's a very nice guy. Let's just put that in perspective. He has a very nice jawline, too. But anyways, he said, like, yeah, I thought you, like, stopped breathing in the middle of the night. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm going to lose weight and then, see what happens. And if I'm still being told I snore really bad and I like stop breathing in the middle of the night, do an actual sleep study,
Right.
At least like do what you can do and then see what you need. Just don't be a fat ass.
Yep. Well,
don't be a chungus.
I'm all about body positivity, whatever stage you're at,
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to learn to love and accept yourself where you're at if you want to move forward. But I know some people are like, oh, that just gives you excuses to like stay where you're at or whatever. But I told you at the beginning of the challenge that the challenge was mainly for you. I've done the whole lose 30 pounds in a month and I just gained it right back. And it's usually after a breakup or some kind of, life altering deal. And It's just like, I just start running every day and can't like get a handle on things. And I've been just trying to do better about like, hey, get up, take Grayla for a walk, hit the punching bag for half an hour, go about my business and try to eat healthier. The hardest part for me is sweets, honestly, like the cookies. And we get so much bread and garbage donated to Cherith Brook that there's pastries and cakes. And so I have to just like leave it all downstairs in the pantry because if I take it upstairs to where I live, I just engorge and eat all of it.
Yeah, I should pull up that picture of you with all those cookies. Hashtag pray for Micah.
Hey, when it comes to making homemade family, like Chrisman cookies, it's always, hear me out, Sam, it's always worth it. Whatever diet you're on, whatever thing, it's worth it.
I haven't had sweets, like a legit sweet. I've had like the keto sweets, but I haven't had a legit like cookie or something like that since probably the farmhouse.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm really a big sweets guy anyways, though. You've always been like a savory, eat chips,
pizza, salty. Fast food, just trash fast food. And that's the thing, though. Once I get to a point where I'm at like a weight I want to be at, and I feel like I can justify doing a cheat day maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks. It's kind of like, what am I actually gonna get? Because at some point, you can just get like McDonald's and, eat that garbage. And it's like, well, if it's my like 1 day a week or something like that, I want to make it worth it.
Right.
Because I only do one meal a day too. So it's not like I'm like, I'm going to go to Hardee's for lunch and then I'm going to go to Sonic or McDonald's for dinner. And then I'm going to eat 5 pounds of ice cream. But yeah,
that's the nice thing about like I haven't been eating out hardly ever, since this whole coronavirus stuff. But like I said, working at a ministry where we get our food donated from a grocery store, and more than half the food is bread and stuff. I have to be creative, so I've been trying to cook fish. There's always vegetables, broccoli, basically doing keto stuff. But the other thing I just think I didn't realize was going to be so hard was giving up alcohol. Like, honestly, like, you did a good job, probably better than me, giving up alcohol. But there's definitely times where I was just like, screw it. It's COVID. Yeah. COVID-19. I'm going to drink some bourbon. And then I'm like, oh, I'm still fat. Oh.
Yeah, I got to what I did. I think like the first 3 weeks I said no alcohol, and I thought we were going to do that together, but then you just were drinking anyways. And then I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to do it too. So I worked on I'm a big fan of the Moscow Mule. So I wanted to figure out a way I could drink that and at least somewhat still stay on my diet. So I concocted and made a sugar-free ginger syrup. And then, so you pour that in, pour diet tonic water, and then vodka, and then some lime juice. And you only have to count the calories from, if you're going to count the calories, it's only from the vodka, nothing else. Everything else is 0 calories.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a good white girl wasted drink.
Dude, that is how, yeah, I'm drinking like a white girl right now.
Wasted.
It's like, yeah, if I keep losing weight, I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I miss just
I'm going to do real tonic now that I've lost 20 pounds. Oh,
no,
wow.
I'm still I don't taste the difference between the diet tonic water and the regular. I do miss beer though. Just like a good PBR at the end of a nice long day or during a podcast.
It's one thing I don't miss, honestly. I give up beer.
That's probably good for you.
I drink beer. Yeah, honestly, if I was consistently drinking beer, I drink other stuff, I'd be back to 300 pounds. Mm-hmm. So I'm hovering around 260 right now. So, but you and me, my goal is to lose 21 pounds before you lose the next 21 pounds by June 21st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're gonna go skydiving.
Phase two.
Phase two.
If I want to go skydiving, I need to lose 40 pounds because you have to be 220. I think it's 220 or 240.
Is it really? That seems kind of weird. I'm just thinking about that.
They do that because the first time, or actually most of your time is jumping, unless you go to a class and get certified or whatever. You're jumping with somebody, and so I think your combined weight, you can't be over 500 pounds or something, and so you have to be 225 or something. I don't know, or less. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I'd have to look it up.
You don't want to fall to the earth too fast.
Right.
Man, the parachute's open, but we're still falling fast.
And I don't know. There might be a place that's we have somebody who weighs literally 140 who's a skydiving instructor. Maybe they'd offset the ratio just for me, or I don't know. Probably not. They probably are just kind of the height line at a roller coaster. It's you have to be this high to ride it. I think it pretty much is you have to be under this weight if you want to.
Well, that makes sense. I've never seen a fat person skydive.
Yeah. Well, my goal is that's kind of my whole agenda of the body positivity. I'm here for the plus size guys. You know what I mean? So maybe I can be the first fat guy to jump out of a plane, go skydiving.
Guinness Book of World Record. The fattest man to skydive.
First fat man to skydive. Weighs over 260 or weighs over 250.
So what grievances do you have?
Grievances. Okay. Number 1. Last time I saw you in person, you basically treated me like garbage with friends. You just kind of got drunk at 2 o'clock on a Saturday on a spiritual retreat thing. And to be fair, we all weren't sober 100% of the time, but you were definitely trolling me the whole weekend. And that was both a fun experience to see people reconnect with them, and it was also kind of oh yeah, this is why Sam and I only get to see each other once or twice a year, because we need each other in doses. Then there was the memes from the weight loss challenge.
Those were funny though.
Guy, and I mean, they were funny, but it was still body fat shaming and whatever. People were just, are you friends with that guy? He just keeps making fun of you and telling people to pray for him. Yeah, if we're gonna go on social media comments and people, let's just go ahead and talk about. You know what I'm about to say, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, Sam created the Big Head MJ Chrisman account, which basically takes all of my photos and things, which is why most of the things I've been posting lately are not like personal pictures of me in the frame, because then he can't blow up my face for his Instagram feed. You didn't know that, did you? Me posting videos of honeybees and possums was away from trolling me. Anyways, he created a Big Head MJ Chrisman account, which just makes it's a mock account of mine that just has blown up or pictures of me with my head blown up huge. So,
and I remember one time you told me it's increasing the traffic to your website.
It did not.
That's what you told me. You're like, yeah, I noticed my numbers to my website were actually increasing.
I have to actually look at the referral links. I don't think I can really confirm that right now. I don't think it's true, but we'll pretend it is for whatever justification. Those are my top ones. Pretty much that's it. Otherwise, I feel okay towards you. You know.
I mean, a lot of things. I never said you couldn't fat shame me.
It's not my nature, Sam. I just don't shame other people to make myself feel better, you know?
Well, you're kind of trying to right now.
You have to air out grievances.
True.
I'm sharing grievances that maybe will spur some...
Sometimes when I argue with you, I'll just say a basic thing that you could easily justify, and I just want to see if you'll think of it in the moment.
What do you mean? Give an example.
Just well, Micah, you're kind of doing that right now. And then you're like, well, you told me to air my grievances. I was like, I wanted to see if you'd catch on to that.
Oh, yeah. You don't think I'm smart enough is what you're saying. You're thinking
I definitely think
dumb and I could just...
I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just saying you're homeschooled.
Well, better homeschooled than a person with the name Schweezy as my... stage name.
Well, your stage name is Big Guy, so.
Well, any other questions you'd like to ask me before I hang up on you?
I don't know. Is there any good stories from our past we want to discuss over again?
Maybe some days and hours to try to think of one good experience with you. It's gonna take a little bit.
We could talk about the last time you came to Warrensburg before I moved. It was me, you, and Jeremy, and we wandered around some park. I can't remember what park it was. In darkness with no lights.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jeremy was like, "Oh, I know what to do if the cops show up." So we're just wandering a park in middle of the night for no reason.
Mm-hmm. This is in Warrensburg?
Yeah, it was May 2016.
Are you talking about the time when Travis was with us?
Travis wasn't with us.
Something else. No, he wasn't with us. There was another time. There's a funny story with Travis.
Oh, wait, let's tell that story.
Well, I don't know if you were there or not, but we went to Cave Hollow to hang out. We'd all been doing some drinking, and Jeremy, I think, or somebody was peeing, and Travis is just kind of drunken marched through the forest, just walks straight through his stream and just goes, "Oh God, what was that?" He didn't see that Jeremy had, or I don't know who it was. If it was him or Matt, or I don't know.
I remember one time, because Travis was my roommate for a year, and then my old roommate Justin would come up to visit, and he'd just stay the night with us. And so we had a washer dryer unit in our apartment, and Justin just talked to Travis. He's like, "Hey Travis, can you help me this weekend? Help me move the washer and dryer. I want to take them back with me." And then Travis is like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, the washer and dryer are mine." Sam, is this true? And I honestly know Justin's like goofing on him. So I'm just like, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it was Justin's. I thought I told you that. And then he's like, well, dang it, how am I supposed to do my laundry?
Sounds like a Travis thing.
And the best part was Justin just had like a random small car, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not like anything.
He's married. He's married now.
Yeah, I saw that. He didn't invite me to his wedding.
He's doing things that neither you and me can do, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Get married.
Be in a relationship, probably. Step one.
Step 1, be in a relationship. Step 2, don't ruin said relationship.
Step 3, define and make sure you're all monogamous. And then step 4, get married.
Yeah.
If you reach step 3 and you find out it's polyamorous, refer to the other branched steps to take.
What I've been watching a lot of 90 Day Fiancé. Do you know what that show's about?
Nope.
So what it is I'm watching before the 90 days. What it is it's basically people, like one person's from America, the other person's from another country, and what happens is they fall in love over the internet. And the one I'm watching right now is they go meet each other for the first time ever. And some of them are engaged, some of them want to get engaged, all that situation, you know. And so like they go around and meet people for the first time. Most of it, a lot of times, can be green card marriages. Like they're just trying to get to America, to get a green card and get married. Mm-hmm. So you have that funny situation and stuff like that, and then you deal with that. And I was thinking to myself, how have I not been involved in a green card marriage yet? You know.
You might not be good enough even for that demographic of women.
Man, I'm like that low on the scale.
They're like, I don't even need to get into America that bad.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm good.
I like when I make a good like quip, or anytime I like make a good comeback towards you, your response is always, and then you just move into the next comment you have.
Yeah. I know how to take insults. I'm not like you. I mean, like, I've had the worst has already been said towards me. There's nothing worse that's going to be coming my way.
Well, say goodbye to Rayla.
Hey, Rayla. Hey, little derp.
Oh, she's a good girl. With her little floppy doppy ears.
Mm-hmm. Try to give her a treat, and she's like, no, I'm going to lay here and look like I'm dying.
Probably because you creeped her out, you know. Wow. Grass day, just with all this rain. So beautiful. All right, any other questions, Sam, for this quote-unquote interview?
No,
is this
I think
just going to be pieced together with another like segment thing, or am I just filling gap content?
We're doing the coronavirus content right now.
Yeah.
I think we've ended the Pray for Micah-thon. So everyone remember to pray for Micah. But Micah, where can we check all your stuff out? Websites, socials, address?
You can go to mjchrisman.com. That's M as in Micah, J as in James, Chrisman as in Chris and man. And you can go there to check out my blog. I'm going to be writing actually a post about COVID-19 and how we've been serving folks here at the community garden, Catholic worker. And hopefully get some more new book updates and stuff coming out soon.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Micah, for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure. You are the fan favorite of the SchwegCast, most favorite guest, and so you should be proud about that. And
thank you. Also, I was going to say everyone can find me on social media too at MJ Chrisman. So
best of MJ Chrisman. That's the social best of MJ Chrisman.
Ignore the best of MJ Chrisman. Go for the real content. Go for the. I was trying to use this as an excuse to get the official check mark on like Instagram and Twitter, and apparently I need. Apparently they're not doing that, or I don't know. I can't. So now everyone has to sift through best of MJ Chrisman to find the real MJ Chrisman. Maybe I'll be like Trump and put the real MJ Chrisman as my new username.
Oh, maybe I should get that domain, the real MJ. I should just get every MJ Chrisman domain name, except for just MJ Chrisman. So you can't be too mad.
Yeah, honestly, I would be okay with that. As long as I have MJ Chrisman, I'll just eventually somebody will realize, oh, there's a lot of fake MJ Chrisman accounts on there. So this guy's legit when he says he needs to be like verified.
Mm-hmm. But hey, man, I'm praying for you.
Thank you. Thank you for praying for me.
And everyone else, pray for Micah as well. And check out more content at schweezymusic.com. And like always, stay awesome. Casting.